Good evening, my name is Daniel Phua Chuyen, student ID B2300347. Today I will be presenting about my technology, media and society presentation assignment. So, imagine living in a country where every word you speak is monitored. Every media you consume is filtered and dissent is met with harsh consequences. What if your thoughts could lead to your silence? Today, we delve into China's media control and intricate system of propaganda and suppression that shapes the life of every billion people. To guide our discussion, let's clarify the objective of this presentation. First, we will analyze the CCP's usage of media propaganda during the Mao Zedong era. Second, we will explore the evolution of media control in modern China. And finally, we will examine the CCP's media suspension during the White Paper Protest 2022. By the end of this presentation, we will better understand how media functions as a tool in the power in China and the implication for society. Let's start the presentation by understanding the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Founded in 1921, the CCP has been the ruling party of China since 1949. With approximately 93.4 million members, it represents about 6.6% of China's population. The CCP operates through a hierarchy structure where the National Party Congress elects the Central Committee. The real power, however, lies within the Politburo and its Standing Committee, currently led by General Secretary Xi Jinping. Importantly, the CCP's authority suppressed state authority, making a formidable force in shaping Chinese society and its media. Now, let's delve into the media and Communist Party ideology during the Mao Zedong era. This period marked a significant chapter in the CCP's media strategy, as propaganda became a vital tool for reinforcing communist ideology. The CCP utilized media and promote loyalty, suppress dissent, and shapes the cultural narrative of the time. This laid the groundwork for how media would be used to control public perception for decades to come. During the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976, the media also played a critical role in propagating Mao's vision, which also called Maoism. The government employed extensive propaganda to glorify the Red Guards, and promote Mao's policies, Maoism, and here are some key aspects of this period. First, mass indoctrination. The Little Red Book was disseminated widely, emphasizing Maoism teaching and ensuring loyalty. And the second, control and suppression. Media was used to target perceived enemies, framing intellectual and dissent as counter-revolutionaries. Public trials and struggle sessions were broadcasted to instill fear and compliance. This era showcased how media could be weaponized to enforce ideology, to comforting and suppress any opposition. As we transition to modern times, we must examine how the CCP has adapted its media control strategies. Today, the government employs advanced technology and stringent regulation to maintain its narrative and suppress dissent. The digital era ushered in new methods of control, with the Great Firewall standing as the most prominent example. The Great Firewall is a complex system of censorship that limits access to foreign information and shapes domestic discourse. This initiative effectively isolates Chinese citizens from the global information coverage, blocking popular websites such as Google, Facebook, and Instagram. The objective of the Great Firewall include maintaining cyber sovereignty. This filter content that challenges the CCP's authority or promote dissent ensures that only state-approved narratives circulate. And second, controlling public opinion. By regulating platforms such as Weibo, Baidu, and WeChat, the government promotes pro-government messages while limiting critical discussion. The Great Firewall exemplifies the CCP's commitment to controlling information and maintaining its grips on power in the digital era. Next, let us dive into the case study for today, the White Paper Protest of 2022. A little background of it, the White Paper protest 2022 erupted in response to the Chinese government's stringent COVID-19 lockdown measures. These measures had led to severe restriction on movement, widespread outrage, and even tragic incidents, such as the apartment fire in Urumqi, Xinjiang, which intensified public outrage. Citizens across major cities including Shanghai, Beijing, and Wuhan began to gather in solidarity, brandishing blank sheets of paper and emblematic act of defiance against censorship and oppression. This simple yet powerful gesture represented everything they would define: free speech, freedom of expression, and the right to protest. The protest quickly gained momentum, sparking a nationwide movement that transcended traditional boundaries of protest in China. Now, let us analyze the impact of this White Paper protest. Same goes to the ethical concerns and solutions. First, let us talk about the impact. Public frustration. The public protest exposed the deep-seated frustration of Chinese citizens towards the CCP's strict COVID-19 policies and general media censorship. The slogan, "We want freedom, not COVID tests," resonated widely across Asia, across China, a broader desire for personal freedoms. Symbol of resistance, in the other hand, the use of blank sheets of paper became a powerful symbol of resistance against the Ryan repressive measure. This non-verbal form of protest gained international attention and solidarity immediately, illustrating that creativity methods could challenge state authority effectively. And lastly, the global community closely monitored the protests, drawing international media coverage. This raised awareness about the ongoing human rights, including in China, placing pressure on the CCP from external actors. Next, let us talk about the ethical concerns. The government immediately cracked down involvement, detaining protesters and censoring any mention of the protests on social media platforms. This blatant suppression of dissent starkly illustrates the length to which the CCP will go to maintain its grip on power. Second, the violation of human rights. The use of police force against peaceful protesters highlights the ethical dilemma surrounding state power and individual freedom. The treatment of detainers raised questions about due process and the right of citizens in a totalitarian regime. And lastly, the freedom of expression. The protests underscored the lack of freedom of expression in China, revealing the danger faced by individuals who dare to speak against the government policies. It also poses critical questions about the future of activism in China. Now, after addressing the ethical issue, the ramification of the White Paper protest requires concerted efforts both domestically and internationally. First, global human rights organizations must increase pressure on the CCP to respect China's citizens' right to free speech and assemble. Engaging with international bodies such as the United Nations could bring more visibility to the issue. Building network, in the other hand, also support among citizens can empower individuals to voice their frustrations. Education on right and non-violent protest strategy can help foster more robust civil society that can challenge government narrative. And lastly, advocating for media transparency and the diversification of information sources is essential. Supporting independent journalism and media outlets can provide a counter-narrative to state-controlled messaging. Now, for the final conclusion, the White Paper protest in 2022 served as a critical reminder of the ongoing struggle for freedom of expression in China. The CCP's extensive control from the era of Mao Zedong to the modern era Great Firewall has created an environment where dissent is not easily tolerated. As we look to the future, it is essential to remain vigilant and continue advocating for transparency, freedom of expression, and the protecting of human rights in China. The journey towards a more open society is fraught with challenges, but the courage displayed during the White Paper protest offer hopes for a brighter future. That is all from me today, and thank you.